The time 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Piris. The CID today arrested 3 directors of Swarna Mahal Jewellers. 9 special high courts to hear cases of crimes against children will be set up in each province. Total recoveries from COVID-19 in Sri Lanka passed 38,000 today. Total count of infections reached 45,466. An all-night Pirit chanting will take place tonight at the SLBC head office to mark the 54th anniversary of the corporation. Schools except in the Western Province and isolated areas will commence from grade 2 to 13 next Monday. On news overseas, South Korea sends warship after Iran seizes tanker. And on sports news, South Africa whitewashed the 2-match test series against Sri Lanka. The CID today arrested 3 directors of Swarna Mahal Jewellers, including its former managing director, Jivaka Edirisinghe. On Attorney General's directions, the CID arrested Jivaka Edirisinghe, Anjali Edirisinghe and Asanka Edirisinghe, former directors of Swarna Mahal Jewellers Limited, for running an unauthorized finance business, AG's department said. Attorney General has directed CID to arrest former directors of Swarna Mahal Jewellers Limited on charges of running an unauthorized finance business. Attorney General also directed the IGP to conduct criminal investigations under directors of ETI Finance and Swarna Mahal Jewellers with regard to unauthorized acceptance of deposits of 13.7 billion. Minister Professor G.L. Piris says that Sri Lanka will begin sittings of 9 special high courts which are meant to hear cases of crimes against children. Addressing the parliament today, the minister said a special high court is set up in each province. The government has also focused attention to establish 7 magistrate courts to hear cases relating to children. The Child Protection Authority has also prepared a system to regulate and prevent cases of child abuse. Total recoveries from COVID-19 confirmed in Sri Lanka passed 38,000 today as 445 more individuals who were infected with the virus regained health. 38,262 novel coronavirus patients in the country have been discharged from medical care to date. Sri Lanka has registered a total of 45,466 positive cases since March last year. 6,705 cases are receiving medical care at hospitals and treatment centers. The country has also witnessed 215 fatalities owing to the virus. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Today marks the 54th anniversary of establishing the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which has earlier functioned as a department. An all-night Pirit chanting will take place tonight at the corporation head office in Colombo in connection with the anniversary. The Pirit chanting will be held under the patronage of the Chief Sanganayaka of Kotte, Sri Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha, the Venerable Maharagama Nandathera. It will be broadcast live over the Sinhala National Service of the SLBC. Arrangements have been made to offer an almsgiving to 95 Buddhist monks tomorrow in connection with the 95th anniversary of Radio Ceylon and the 54th anniversary of the Broadcasting Corporation. That ends local news for now.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The academic activities of schools except in the Western Province and isolated areas will commence from grade 2 to 13 on the 11th of this month. However, grade 11 of the schools in the Western Province, except in isolated areas, will commence academic activities on the 25th of this month. The academic activities will be conducted under the guidance and supervision of health authorities and according to the instructions issued by the Education Ministry. Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Professor Kapila Pereira, has emphasized emphasized that the academic staff, students, parents and all stakeholders should act with full responsibility to maintain academic activities according to health protective measures. The instructions issued by the Education Ministry related to opening of schools can be obtained by logging into www.moe.gov.lk website. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And on Watchlight tonight, a blood donation campaign organized by the All Island Blood Donors Association, AIBDA, will be held at the Nicaragua Town Hall from 8:30 am to 3 p.m. on January the 9th. The National Blood Transfusion Service, NBTS, has announced that the blood reserves in the blood bank are reducing gradually due to the COVID-19 pandemic situation in the country. It requests the various social organizations to plan more such campaigns to donate blood. Accordingly, this campaign is organized by the AIBDA to provide the required blood reserves for patients in critical condition. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines first. South Korea sends warship after Iran seizes tanker. Gulf leaders expect to end Qatar embargo at a summit. Deadly flash floods tear through Bolivia's Sucre city. A South Korean warship with anti-piracy soldiers on board is moving towards the Strait of Hormuz, close to where a South Korean oil tanker was seized by Iran's Revolutionary Guards. South Korean officials say the mission is to ensure the safety of their nationals on board the captured vessel. They say they are making diplomatic efforts to release the ship. Iran seized the MT Hankook Kemi and its crew of 20 on Monday, saying the ship had violated environmental rules. The Gulf leaders have gathered in Saudi Arabia for a summit that is expected to see the end of a 3-year embargo against Qatar by its neighbors. Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim Al Thani was greeted by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on arrival in Al Ula. Last night, Saudi Arabia reopened its borders to Qatar, and U.S. officials said an agreement would be signed. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Egypt cut ties with Qatar after alleging it supported terrorists. Flash floods have killed at least 4 people in the Bolivian city of Sucre, police say. Following a heavy hailstorm which lasted about half an hour, some of the city's steep streets became fast-flowing rivers. Water rushed down the streets, dragging along cars, buses and market stalls. The worst affected area was around the city's largest farmers' market, where drains were blocked by rubbish, making the flooding worse. Back to the world news headlines. South Korea sends warship after Iran seizes tanker. Gulf leaders expect to end Qatar embargo at a summit. Deadly flash floods tear through Bolivia's Sucre city. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Moving on with development news, the Goa Face Urban Forest Park and the Bera Lake Open Air Restaurant, built on the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, were vested with the public recently. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's national policy framework, Vistas of Prosperity and Splendor, aims to create a beautiful urban environment with a network of urban forest parks, water parks and urban green infrastructure for the relaxation and recreation of the general public. The main objective objective of the project is to transform the city of Colombo into one of the fastest growing capitals of South Asia, giving the urban population the opportunity to experience eco-friendly landscaping and to add economic value to it. The Urban Forest Park, which is spread over 2 acres, was commissioned as a 3-phase project. The amount spent was 135 million rupees. The project design, landscape, consultancy and architecture were done by the Urban Development Authority, and the main project contractor was the Sri Lanka Land Development Corporation. That came to you in development news. Moving on with sports news, Mark Boucher won his first Test series as South Africa coach as the Proteas thrashed England's next opponents, Sri Lanka, within 3 days in the second Test. Dimuth Karunaratne moved to his first overseas century since 2017 before Sri Lanka lost their final 6-second innings wickets for 35 runs. Longi Nidhi taking 4 for 44. That left South Africa needing just 67 to win, and Dean Elgar and Aiden Markram wrapped up the 10-wicket win in just 13.2 overs. Sri Lanka's 2-test series against England starts on 14th January. That was sports news, and this is business news coming up. The Colombo Stock Exchange All-Share Price Index gained 120.76 points yesterday. The S&P SL20 rose 54.38 points in the day's trading. Turnover was 4.96 billion rupees. 124 counters contributed positively to the exchange, while 63 contributed negatively to the exchange. The largest contributor to the improvement of the index was Ceylon Tobacco, which rose 6.09% in the day's trading. Turnover was concentrated in Brown's Investments. That was business news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh, no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka is aiming to continue the current policy mix in 2021. The governor noted that interest rates, both borrowing and saving, would remain in single-digit levels. The country has been able to obtain arrangements with the Reserve Bank of India and the US Federal Reserve to ensure foreign currency liquidity domestically. CBSL Governor Professor W.D. Lakshman noted that the foreign currency debt crisis was developed in his predecessor's tenure. He noted that between 2009 and 2014, foreign borrowing through ISBs amounted to $5 billion, while between 2015 and 2019, it rose to $12.05 billion. That's economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur in the Uva province and in the Hambantota and Ampara districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The CID today arrested 3 directors of Swarna Mahal Jewellers. 9 special high courts to hear cases of crimes against children will be set up in each province. Total recoveries from COVID-19 in Sri Lanka passed 38,000 today. Total count of infections reached 45,466. An all-night Pirit chanting will take place tonight at the SLBC head office to mark the 54th anniversary of the corporation. Schools except in the Western Province and isolated areas will commence from grade 2 to 13 next Monday. And on news overseas, South Korea sends warship after Iran seizes tanker. And on sports news, South Africa whitewashed the 2-match test series against Sri Lanka. That ends this news broadcast, and now it's back to my good friend and colleague, Victor Raj.